Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest has appeared in classic films like Where the Boys Are, Love at First Bite, and The Godfather Part 3. He's the only man on earth ever to portray Zorro, Hank Williams, and Evel Knievel. Not making it up. Please welcome a man who flew too close to the sun but only got a great tan, George Hamilton. I'm glad you didn't feel the pressure to get dressed up.
No, but you know, nobody wears suits anymore. You're the only guy I know. I think it's right,
Thank you.
though. Don't you like
Thank
suits?
you, George.
Tell the truth.
Thank you. Listen, your career literally spans 7 decades. What year did you officially begin your acting career?
I don't know. I was 57, I think it was. Yeah, 57. I went out to California, and I didn't want to be an actor. I didn't even know what I wanted to do. But I realized the only way to get to be an actor was to go to the studios and pretend that you didn't want to be one. And I promise you that's what I did. I found the first week I was in California, I saw a Rolls Royce on blocks that was built in 1939, huge thing. And I asked them what it was, and they said, well, it's been here for many years. I said, could I rent it? And they said, well, we've never had any. I said, could I rent it? And they said, yes. I rented it for $100, which was a lot then. I had a doorman put an overcoat on, a doorman with his hat, drive it to MGM under the window of the casting director of MGM. And the agent took me there with a bunch of other guys. And they were saying, you know, we would like to put these guys under contract. The agent was saying, I said, I don't think so. I said, this is not, Mummy doesn't want me to do this. And they said, who is Mummy? I said, it was my mother. And I went to the window, and I made sure that the driver had his foot on the running board of the car. It was huge. And I kept saying, and he said, what's that? I said, that's Mummy's car, Rolls Royce. And they kept looking at the car. I said, geez, he must have money. I said, if it's all right with you, I'm going to have to leave. And they said, oh, hold on a minute. Now, it was a $500 a week deal if you got it. I promise you, because I left, I got $1,000 a week, and I didn't act. I didn't do anything. All I did is, my best acting was that Rolls Royce. True story. I swear to God it's true.
So deception is the key.
Yes.
Yes, a little
yes.
deception. But what's interesting to me, because this is a big part of your persona through the decades, as we say, you have always been aware of yourself and kind of in on the joke and presenting yourself as a clothes horse, as a movie star, as whatever. Where did that come from?
Well, it came from a combination of things. I mean, in 1940s, when movies were huge, that's all we had to do. We had no television, so we would go and watch movies. And you saw Clark Gable and all these incredible male actors that were incredible. And I thought, I want to be like those guys, you know, I want to be like them. So when I got to Hollywood, I just created that character. You know, it was all going out. We need a dose of that now, I think, you know, a dose of those
A little dignity?
Yeah, a little bit of that.
A little dignity, a little style.
My first picture that I can remember at MGM, I got to tell you, Robert Mitchum. Robert Mitchum was on the set, and I thought, I'm going to get a chance to work with him. And he didn't say anything. And Vincent Minnelli said, say the lines, Mitch. He says, I know the lines, I'm just too drunk to say them. Now, that was movies in those days. Those guys were like that. So I'm just having a little vodka.
I want to hear more about. Just don't get them mixed up because I've got a special vodka.
Oh yeah.
Okay, there have been so many pictures of you taken over the years. You're always immaculately dressed. It seems to me like this. You had to have been raised in a home where this was something. Wasn't your father a band leader?
Father was an orchestra leader in 1930s.
He worked with Spike Jones?
No, I don't think he worked with Spike Jones, but he had a dance team, and they used to be traveling around the country and doing all these things. And Dad had this incredible band when the war broke out, and then he took all the men out of his band. And so Dad didn't know what to do, and he went to New York and ended up running Elizabeth Arden. But Dad was an amazing guy, kind of very.
Your father ran Elizabeth Arden?
Yeah, he did.
Skincare?
Yeah. Right.
And you're getting a tan like this? You didn't.
Well, you know, I mean, maybe it's where I got the idea.
Yeah.
Because Dad was a kind of a two-fisted guy, you know, and he would take me to every day to lunch and tell me how guys should act, how they should be protective of women. Now I don't see that much. You know, it's funny because I think that's what women really. I've spent my whole life trying to be protective of the woman that I'm in love with. Whatever, I've been in love a lot, but
But you've only been married once.
only been married one
All right,
time. But
okay.
I didn't play around. Of course, I wasn't married, so I didn't really have to play around. But
We'll have this conversation backstage.
Was it
Please,
something I
please
said?
continue. No. Now listen, all the people you dated the daughter of President Lyndon Baines Johnson. Can you tell us about that? Did you meet President Johnson?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. President Johnson was an amazing man. Talking about Mount Rushmore, that guy was. I went out with his daughter, and we became very good friends. And
You and his daughter, or you and him?
No. He and I didn't become good friends. He didn't really like the idea that I was going out with his daughter.
And why?
Well, I think the war was on, and George Hamilton was not in the Army.
Oh, this is obviously during early Vietnam.
Yeah, Vietnam. And so he didn't know what to do with me, and I didn't know what trouble I'd gotten in. The next thing I knew, he invited me to come down to the LBJ Ranch to go hunting with him.
I'm frightened for you.
Yes. So I got in the car with him, and it was a Lincoln Continental convertible. And I thought, why were we in a car? And he gave me a 30-06 hunting rifle and made me sit in the back seat with the top down, a Lincoln Continental convertible, 6 inches from the head of the President of the United States with a gun. And I thought, this is where it'll happen. I'll get shot, and they won't have to worry about me going to Vietnam. I was panicked. We're driving through the hills of Texas, Pedernales, in that area, and he said, there's one. Now, Linda Johnson was sitting next to me. I was sitting in the back seat, the president driving, and Secret Service guys in the next seat. He says, there's one, get him. And I said, where's what? And I look at, there's a deer. And I didn't know
I
what
thought
to
it was
do.
going to be a Republican. Yeah. He was. Back in those days, you could joke about politics. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. But the bottom line, I jump out of the car and shoot. And it didn't go down right away. And then it
The deer
did.
didn't go down right away.
The deer. And I was praying, and the deer dropped. And all of a sudden, Secret Service guys got out. They got the deer, and they were off with the deer. And I'm standing there thinking, thank God I got him, but I don't know if I should. And the president said to me, you're a regular Daniel Boone. I said, well, thank you, Mr. President. He said, but why'd you get out of the car? And I said, Mr. President, I have never shot out of a car in my life. He says, damn right, it's illegal, don't forget it.
Folks, when we come back, more with George Hamilton. You're not going anywhere. What's going on? I'm here with George Hamilton. Did I dream this, George?
No, but
Can I pinch you? Would you pinch me? Let's pinch each other.
Why can't we just do this like all the time?
We could.
Just you and I.
We could. We just need.
I'd run out of a few stories after 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. No. But that's the problem with you. And there's a few people that I want to talk to for hours.
Yeah.
And you're 3 of those people. And I just want you to know that. So we're gonna, we'll just do what we can here.
I'll cheer down.
And if they renew the show, we'll have you back.
Hey, I'd love to do that.
We're gonna have some fun.
Why can't I just be like your sidekick?
You could.
Just come in
You
here.
You could.
Huh?
You know what we pay that guy?
No, you'd stay on too, for God's sake.
Yeah, no, because
you
I know,
just bring
George,
a
you don't
bar.
need the money, and he's costing he's killing us. All right, let me.
I'd just come by and say hello.
Let me just say that one of the reasons I want to talk to you about everything is you've worked with countless legends in the industry, going all the way back. You mentioned Cary Grant. The prop department has provided me with a goldfish bowl.
Oh, really?
It's not. I don't know if it was really used as a goldfish bowl, but we'll go with it. And there's some names in here, and I'm supposed to pull them out and ask you about these people. Let's see if I have the first one is, oh my goodness, James Caan just passed away.
Jimmy, a great friend. He gave me my star on Hollywood Boulevard.
What?
Yep, I got a picture of him doing it somewhere. He was a wonderful actor, great to be around. Tough guy. He knew all the guys.
He knew all the guys.
He knew all the guys, but he was
is
a
that
tough
good
guy.
thing?
But he was a wonderful, sensitive actor. Believe me, when you see a major mobster walk on a set, walk by you and kiss Jimmy Caan and then go back in the car, you know you got to be nice to Jimmy Caan.
Right.
Hey, forget about it.
I prefer to be nice to people voluntarily.
Well, I know, but I loved it. It gave a lot of authenticity.
Well, listen, his role as Sonny in The Godfather is just unbelievably legendary.
Yeah. The second was great. Third one came along, and they didn't know what to do. And they called me and said to me, Francis Coppola wants to talk to you about being in The Godfather. I said, oh, I know this is a joke. Somebody's put them up to this. I couldn't wait. I said, who did this? Is it Jimmy, or was it Bobby Evans, or one of these guys? He said, no. He was serious about it. I called and I said, what would you want? Is this a musical? Because I don't think you would have me in The Godfather. So I went over to see Francis Coppola. He said, no, I just want you to be in it. And I said, playing what? And he said, well, you're a good guy to hang out, and you always got good stories. I said, well, thank you. And he said, you give me good advice. He said, why wouldn't you be the consigliere? I said, that's a little different. A consigliere is like the advisor to the Godfather. He said, well, you could do that. I said, what am I going to do? He said, just stay near Jimmy and stay near Al Pacino and look at him very seriously, like you're interested in everything he says. I said, I would be. I said, but how do you want me to do? He said, like you're counting his hair. So I just had that look on all the time while I was in The Godfather.
That's what that was?
That's all I did.
That's
I went around. That's all I did.
Oh, my God. I thought... Liz
You know
Taylor.
what? She didn't like anyone to call her Liz. She hated that. Elizabeth. She loved to call her Elizabeth. She hated Liz. Elizabeth Taylor, I met her when I was very, very young, and she was young, and I thought the most beautiful woman I have ever seen in my life. And she was with Mike Todd at the time, and I thought, if ever anything like that, little did I ever guess that she could be under my Christmas tree one day.
That she could be under your Christmas tree
Yeah,
one day?
yeah.
Are we speaking metaphorically?
Metaphorically.
You're just playing with my head. What are you talking about? Did you
Metaphorically.
did you for a season date the woman named Elizabeth?
I sure did.
You
A year
did.
and a half. A year and a half.
A year and a half.
A year and a half.
What went wrong?
I guess I talked too much, but she was so beautiful. God, she was beautiful. And one of the most wonderful, she believed that whatever you did, she was behind it. Didn't matter. She would have been Bonnie to Clyde. She would have done anything. She would go with you anywhere, do anything, stay up all night, drink with you, eat with you, laugh with you, and it made you feel so amazing. And I would have done anything for the woman.
That's the kind of a woman I'm looking for.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
I wish I'd known.
And I'm happy to say that my current wife of 25 years is that woman. She's here.
Oh.
That's right. Yeah. You see, now, if that weren't true, I wouldn't have cracked that joke. You
I know,
understand
and
that?
I
Yeah.
wouldn't.
All right,
You noticed I didn't go any further.
We've got a. Oh.
Oh.
All right. The final name in the fishbowl is Colonel Tom Parker and Elvis. You worked with the Colonel and Elvis.
The Colonel was my best friend, and
Wait a minute.
Colonel Parker. Colonel Tom Parker
was your best friend.
Was my best friend. It happened when I went under contract to Metro. I met him one day, and I saw him, and he asked me what I was doing there, and he said he was smoking a big cigar, and he said the guy that smoked the last cigar with me became a big star. I don't know what he meant. I smoked a cigar with him, and he said, you ought to be able to get on a movie here. I said, well, that's what I'm here for. He immediately booked me into a thing. He got it working for me. I used to go with him every weekend to Vegas. He'd gamble. He lost $1 million one night. I was with him when he lost it. And I said, what are you going to do to make that work? He said, the price of poker's gone up. I said, what do you mean the price? He said, Elvis's show's gotten a lot more expensive. Now I realize that he was like 50%. He got 50% of Elvis, everything that Elvis got. But I had an amazing respect for the man because over the years I saw what he did, and I was married. Elvis flew us on his plane to the International.
Elvis flew you
my wife,
your wife.
Alana Stewart, Alana Collins then, got married there, and she and I lived happily ever after for about 4 years.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
But the Colonel was the most amazing man, and I was desperate to get some money, and I didn't know what to do. And he said, there's a fill week between Perry Como and Aretha Franklin at the International where Elvis was appearing. And I said, I'll take it. He said, what are you going to do? I said, I have no idea. I got the week, and Sammy Davis and Lola Falana came and did the show with me. I got up, and I thought, this is going to be an amazing evening because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't sing. And I got up and I sang and I did everything. And I heard a woman down front say, is he still on? They didn't even know that I was replacing Elvis Presley for 1 week. And that Colonel did that. Amazing. It was an amazing thing. But I can say that the Colonel was a Dutchman. He was there illegally. But I saw some of the things he did for Elvis, and I think the movie portrayed him a little too rough. He was a great friend.
Unbelievable. Listen, it's sickening.
Why?
That we have to end this this segment.
Well,
but we have
you
other
got my
wonderful
number.
people. Would you at least stick around? Stick around when we bring our next guest is going to be John Sally, the legend.
I love John.
And so, first of all, thank you, George Hamilton.
Thank you,
and we'll be right back.
John Sally.